Marshawn Lynch is joining the cast of Euphoria Season 3. This was just announced today, and I think it's such a fun moment to talk about how well Marshawn has been able to kind of translate his career outside of football into becoming more of a pop culture icon while still being kind of true to who he's always been. Even if you're not a big football person, you probably had already been familiar with Marshawn before he started acting as a meme. If you've ever heard somebody use the phrase or the meme, "I'm just here so I won't get fined," yeah, that was Marshawn Lynch. I think that press conference where he refused to answer any questions and instead answered everything with "I'm just here so I won't get fined" was really one of the bigger moments where we saw a football player like Marshawn break outside of just a sports audience. Marshawn retired from football for the second time in 2019, and since then he has made a name for himself in television. First, it was really as a personality in reality TV, hosting as himself. Last year, we actually saw him step into the F1 and golf worlds, as he was one of the hosts for the Netflix F1 Full Swing crossover events. On top of that, one of my favorite things that we saw him do in the last few years was participate in the reality TV show Stars on Mars, where the premise of that show was they just took a bunch of celebrities and athletes and put them into a basic simulation to see if they would survive on Mars. And Marshawn and his personality really shined there. But his last few projects really have stepped into a new element for him, which is playing an actual character. I would say his big breakout in this space was really Bottoms, where he did play a sort of version of himself but added a lot to the film and endeared himself to a different type of audience. And then he's also in Love Hurts, which is in theaters now, where again he plays a sort of comedic action role. And in one scene actually shouts beast mode before tackling someone through a wall. And now we have this announcement that he'll be in Euphoria, which is a very different step from these big comedies that he's been a part of. Euphoria has been nominated for Emmys, and actors have won Emmys from these roles, and again, it's targeted at a completely different audience than would know him from football. Marshawn's moves here in moving into entertainment in this way, I think, show this new path that a lot of athletes are interested in. There are so many huge personalities in sports, regardless of which sport you're talking about, whether it's the NFL, Formula One, basketball. We're actually seeing some crossover where they're using their off-season to actually do television shows. Esteban Ocon, for example, who's a Formula One driver, was just in a French rom-com. Steph Curry has done both scripted and unscripted television shows, and we've seen LeBron James try to do the same. It will be interesting to see which athletes have the most success, and I think Marshawn is probably one of the best examples so far. And I do kind of wonder how many Seahawks fans are going to tune into Euphoria to see what he actually does, because talk about a different type of crossover.